They said they wanted power.
Oh, awesome.
Zaba Zakalush Kalamatskalo.
Welcome to Guru Talks.
Guru? What do they do, like levitate and chill on mountaintops?
Not exactly, but you are in the right place to find out everything you need to know, and it's actually quite simple. I am your host, Florian Boschi, and I will be going extra deep with Guru Bhaneswaranand each and every show. We are covering deep truths about relationships, success in business, world peace, and many other topics. Oh, and of course, enlightenment. Because our guru, well, he is enlightened. This is the 10th episode of Guru Talks, and today's topic is all about yoga. Welcome, Guru Bhaneswaranand. How are you?
Thank you so much. I'm very fine. Thank you. Thank you so much.
So you'll enlighten us a little bit about yoga and the different pathways that exist in the world and how yoga is understood differently in different groups around the world. Now, we will speak particularly about three different ways yoga is being practiced. That is the way yoga is being practiced in the West. Then there is a path, a yogic path that leads to self-realization. And Guru Bhaneswaranand, can you get right into it and explain to us a little bit about the difference?
First of all, I would like to say what yoga is. Yoga is a Sanskrit word which is when translated in English is called addition. So 1 plus 1 is yoga. Now what we are adding that we should know. Adding self to God is yoga. Adding the soul to the highest soul called God is yoga. Now you can go ahead with your questions. I think I should reply them to you.
So what you just described basically is the process of reaching enlightenment, or no?
Yes, yoga is also the process of reaching enlightenment. Look, the originally yoga was discovered or practiced by a great yogi called Patanjali. And Patanjali has described yoga in 8 limbs. And this what yoga we are practicing now in the West and also in the East is only one limb of that yoga called asanas. The whole 8 limbs of yogas, if you practice, you automatically get connected with the source, with the God, and you advance on the path of enlightenment.
Can you tell us a little bit more about those 8 limbs?
Oh, yes, the 8 limbs are first is yam, second is niyam, asan, pranayam, pratyahar, dharana, dhyan, and samadhi. These are the names. Now, what they are, we must understand. The first limb, yam, says how we should clean our surrounding by changing ourselves, by changing myself. See, Ashtanga Yoga describes very nicely that you can change only yourself. So now the first part of yoga, which is called yam, is how can I make my surroundings happy by changing myself. That is, or we call it cleaning of the surroundings. And then second is called niyam.
Hold on, please wait. I gotta cut you off. Can you give an example of this?
Yeah. In the first part was truthfulness, non-violence, and all that. If you start practicing these things, society is not disturbed by you, and therefore you have got good surroundings around you. You have already seen you have already seen Gandhi, who has practiced only one limb called non-violence, and I think he has made a history.
So Gandhi was practicing Yam Yoga, which is the first limb of those eight
Yes,
limbs.
yes, he was truthful. I mean, he admitted that he has smoked, which was not good. He has stolen something, which was not good. And then he decided never to steal, never to smoke, and never to do whatever bad things he has done. And that is how society started loving him. So these are the things, I mean, that is the first part of yoga. Second part of yoga is after you have cleaned yourself in the surroundings, now surroundings is not disturbing you anymore, then you need to clean your inner self, your body basically. And that was done by few of the processes called neti, dhoti, vasti, noli, and all that.
English, please.
I don't know the exactly meaning in these names in English. I think you may have to translate. But neti is cleaning your nose, cleaning your nostrils by
Oh, that's that nice thing where you take a rope and you put it through your nose and out through your mouth.
exactly. That is called neti. I don't know what it is called in English, but I think you can maybe search, or maybe I am able to search and tell you. But neti is a Sanskrit word. Let us accept this word as Patanjali has said and not translate it, because the exact translation you may not get it.
I think it's actually in the English language, it's being used as neti. There is a device you can buy where you can spray like a
Yes.
liquid in your nose and it's called neti pot.
Oh yes, yes, yes. It is. I mean, the whole world has accepted these words of yoga as they were. Dhoti is a small cloth which you eat with the help of milk or something, and then you take it out. So your throat systems gets cleaned. And Vasti Noli, then Kunjal. Kunjal is a process in which you drink a lot of salty water, a little warm, and then you put your hands inside, and it comes out in form of vomiting, and the whole system gets cleaned. And then the cleaning of stomach is done by a process called vasti. And I mean, you empty your stomach, the whole thing. The same thing is being also done in the medical science. It is called something enema or something. Yeah,
How is it called?
enema.
Enema. Enema is for the back end.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, that same system is there here also.
Okay.
You have to put some water from your anus, and it goes inside, cleans everything, and then certain yogic asanas you have done, you have to do so that it cleans and the whole water comes out. You have to do it 3 4 times so that the clean water starts coming out, and then the stomach is cleaned. This is the second limb of yoga.
Okay, I get a good idea now about the second limb. So, just a quick
Yeah.
question. You have said before that spirituality, thus the reaching of self realization, has nothing to do with the body. But here we have a system that one of the main areas that need to be taken care of is the body. Can you just elaborate on that?
You see, I think even when I'm teaching Tantra, I mean, at the higher level of spiritual development, body is not very important. What is important is soul, but where does this soul reside? Body is the home of the soul. Okay, so you have to make a healthy home, and therefore, I think when I was teaching you spirituality, I have also taught you set of yogic exercises and told you that if you are really interested in Kundalini rising, you must practice these exercises so that when its energy starts rising, your backbone does not get damaged or disturbed. Did I?
Yes, you did.
Yes. So, I mean, body is not important, but it is still important.
Okay, got it. Please go on to the third one.
Third one is asanas. There are several asanas Patanjali has described, and you can practice set of them. The only thing what we should take care is to balance every asana. Not that you start practicing everything with the right part of the body and left part of the body is neglected. Not that you start practicing everything on belly and back is neglected. So you have to balance those exercises and perform the asanas. You have to take a very specific care to incorporate these asanas with breathe so that the process becomes slow and you do not sweat, as yoga is the exercise from in which we take energy from the universe and receive it, not that we give our body energy to the universe and sweat. So a special care has to be taken that these exercises are slow and controlled by breathe, not by the number, and you perform these asanas. And then Patanjali also says that master one of the asanas, maybe lotus or maybe anything, maybe Vajrasan, master at least one, and you attain the siddhi in that asana. You should be able to sit in this asana for as much time as you want.
Okay, I do have another question here. You were saying before that on a spiritual path, after a person receives initiation, they're being cut off from receiving any outside energy, and all the energy gets produced through their mantra from the inside. Now, now you were just saying that we're using the yoga to receive energy from the outside. I'm sure this is only a seeming contradiction, but
No, it is not. It is not. I explain, then you will understand it is not. Look, what kind of energy we wanted you to develop has got nothing to do with the physical energy. What here you receive is calmness, coolness when you do yoga, when you do asanas. What you receive in the spiritual energy is much different than the energy which we are talking here. And I think when you do asanas, your body becomes a little cool, and that has got nothing to do when you are practicing meditation or when you are chanting mantras.
yet this yogic path is a path towards self realization. Patanjali's eight prongs are a pathway, a complete pathway towards self-realization. So, but they are not getting spiritual energy from those asanas, just physical energy.
This is not here. Later on, you get. You see, when you are doing these asanas, asanas are the exercise of the human body. It is the preparation for working further. It is for making your body fit to do further things for self realization. By doing asanas alone, you can never make yourself self realized. But yes, by doing asanas, you can prepare yourself, your body, your hands, your eyes, your heart, your other part of the bodies to go for self realization.
Okay, makes sense.
I hope that,
Yes, yes, it
yes.
answers the question. Maybe you can explain the difference between physical energy and spiritual energy.
Yeah, I think when we go ahead a little bit in this eight limbs yoga, it would be little bit clear. But yes, spiritual energy has got everything to do with the soul. It has everything to do with your self realization, who you are. Asanas has got nothing to do with your self realization. They are preparing your body to move towards self realization. That when you move towards self realization and you meditate for hours, your body is fit enough to take it and do not give away.
Do not give up.
Yeah, do not give up.
What did you say? To not give away?
Yeah, do, I mean, when what happens when you are trying to practice self realization, and suppose you have to sit in a position for meditation for 2.5 hours or 3 hours, you will not be able to sit. And therefore, when you learn yoga, you are able to concentrate better. You are able to uh, sit down for timing. You have seen in your case itself, you were not able to sit in a position for more than, I think, 10 minutes or maybe a little more.
Yeah.
And
No,
but then,
I think I
yeah,
was able to sit more, but not in lotus pose, obviously. But yeah, maybe 45 minutes or so, or half an hour, I could sit.
yeah. Now you are able to sit for a longer time after practicing yoga.
Yeah.
So this is what I'm saying, that this is for preparing yourself, preparing your body to practice self realization, to practice higher things, and to get ready to practice higher things.
Okay, sounds great. I think I think maybe we'll get a little bit more insight when you go further down the eight prongs of Patanjali about the difference between physical and spiritual energy.
Yeah, I'm going, I mean, we can discuss on Patanjali for 10 episodes also. But this whole thing I am telling in short so that I be able to cover all eight limbs in one episode. Later on, if you want to go very deep into Ashtanga Yoga, we can elaborate everything and can discuss this in 5, 6 episodes.
Okay.
Now, the next one is, that is the fourth one, and the fourth one is called pranayam. You have been doing the exercises for the body in the asanas. Now, pranayam is the exercise for life, for pran, and it has got everything to do with the breath. Controlling breath, slowing breath, breathing faster sometime, different kinds of breaths and different systems of breaths we take and make our life stronger than before.
So there is also an energy that is being collected through the breath, I assume.
From this, the spiritual energy also starts playing a role. And yes, through breaths, I mean, why do you say that energy is being collected through breath? Your life is coming inside your body through breath. Oxygen is coming inside your body through breath. Oxygen in the Patanjali's Ashtanga Yoga is called Pran Vayu. Okay, that is life air. It's not only energy, I mean, of course, the entire energy, entire things what you breathe is nothing but life for our body. And believe me, most of us has forgotten how to breathe. You know, when I was talking to someone sitting at my home, my father said, "What are you talking about? How can you say that we have forgotten how to breathe? We are breathing every day." I said, "Okay, we are walking every day." He said, "Yes." Still, when you join army, they teach you walking for about 3 months. 3 months of training of army recruits is nothing but left, right, left, left, right, left. Then you learn the perfect walking. Similarly, everyone breathes, but not perfectly. The perfect breathing system is in the ratio of 1 is to 4 is to 2. 4 is to 16 is to 8. 16 is to 64 is to 32. So look, we how we breathe. Some of us breathe even like this. But the correct method of breathing is inhale, hold your breath, take it out slowly. Again inhale, take your hold the breath for a little bit and take it out slowly. This is the pattern of breathing we should adopt, and this pattern of breathing is called pranayam. There are different kind of pranayam. When we discuss further, I will try to explain that there are different kind of the pranayam, and every kind has got different role to play in ourselves. But the most common pranayam is what I call only pranayam, and that is breathing slowly.
So you were explaining before three different rhythms. One was 1-4-2, then it was 4-16-8, and
It's same. It is same. It is same. When you are a beginner, you can take a little time to inhale, 4 times time to hold, and then 2 times time to exhale.
So
And
1 time unit inhale, 4 time units hold, and 2 time units exhale.
yes, that is the same. All three are the same. As you grow and you are able to hold your breath for longer, you start with 142, go to 416, 8, and then you can go to 16, 64, 32. So these are the pranayam you should practice, and when you start practicing pranayam, our soul starts developing.
So there is a spiritual energy, because before we divided or we distinguished between spiritual energy and physical energy. Pranayama is both or
Yeah, pranayam is
neither?
both. Yeah, pranayam is both.
Or is it something else entirely?
No, no, it is not something else. It is both. And from here itself, from pranayam, the next stage comes, which is called pratyahar.
Can you hold just for 1 second? I have another question to this. Uh, when because you said before that basically gathering additional spiritual energy is almost impossible, or maybe I misunderstood you, but you said it's almost impossible when you don't have a spiritual initiation and protection. But it seems like through our breath we are increasing spiritual energy consistently. It seems another thing you said is that spiritual energy is like a finite container for a normal person who is not self-realized, which means you have a specific amount given to you at birth, and then when you empty it out, you empty it out. There is not a way to refill unless you do deep spiritual work. But now you're saying that you are getting spiritual energy from breathing. Can you clarify that for
Yeah,
me?
I'm saying limited amount of spiritual. I'm saying both. You get physical energy from it, you get little bit of spiritual energy from it, and your spiritual development starts happening a little bit, and then your search will starts happening. You will go and search your master, search somebody who can initiate you, and all those changes you will start feeling from here.
Please, sorry I cut you off before.
No problem, no problem. Yeah. You want to ask something?
No.
Oh. The next stage is Pratyahar. Before Pratyahar, I think I have missed something that was part of Niyam itself, is the food habits. And that is, you decide the capacity of your stomach, how much you can eat. Say your capacity is 2 kilogram a day, or 2 kilogram per meal. This is an example. I'm not saying that you eat 2 kilogram, but say it is 2 kilogram per meal. Then you eat only 1 kilogram. Half of the stomach should be filled with food. Quarter of the stomach should be filled with water, and 1/4 stomach we should always make empty for air to come. If we follow this food system in our life, there is every possibility that we will not become frequent sick. Our body will become automatically resistant and will not catch diseases frequently.
Sounds fantastic. But that's not number 5. That was already before, yeah?
Yes. Yeah, that was before.
Okay.
It was part of number two.
Which is the cleaning, right? Part number 2 was the cleaning of the body.
Yeah, cleaning, yeah, cleaning of the body, cleaning our inner self.
Okay. Good. So now we go back.
And food habit also comes in that.
Good. Okay. Now we jump back to number 5.
Yeah, number five is called Pratyahar, and Pratyahar is connecting yourself to your higher self. From here, you will need a guru. I think I think if I'm the person, I will like to take the guru from the stage one itself, because I have been always more reliant on gurus. But all those who doesn't like gurus, they also should practice all these four up till here, and here maybe you can take the help and know how to connect my inner self or myself with my inner self, or myself with the God, with the source, with the universe. So from here your process starts of connecting, connecting to higher self, connecting to higher self which is present inside you and you have never been able to identify. So from here, journey of identifying yourself starts.
So I do have a question. So all the other so are those paths hierarchical in importance, meaning one needs to start with number one, then do number two, then do number three, or it doesn't matter?
It does matter. I think if you want to uh, practice or you want to go self realization through the path of yoga, you must start practicing from the number one. Whatever way you do, I think if you go by the spiritual gurus, they also teach you almost similar things, may not be the same, but similar things to make you. No guru says that you go and speak lies. Every guru teaches you to speak truth. No guru says that be violent. All these things are, everybody tries to teach you food habits. Everyone, including me, has taught you yoga. I think I have taught you pranayam, though I don't say that you practice yogic method. But everywhere, wherever the self realization comes, I think I have already told you, I have read, I have talked with people, I have uh, discussed this several times. People have said to me that there are many more methods of realizing God, realizing self, finding yourself. But whenever I have gone deep into their paths, we have always found that it was same. Similar, a little bit of difference maybe. My guru mantra is different than somebody else guru mantra, but yes, you can say it is different because guru mantras are different, but in reality they are not. In reality, and realizing very deep, they are the same.
Okay, but so I do have a question to that because so we are speaking about two entirely different paths, though, right? Meaning the Patanjali path of yoga and the path towards self-realization that you are teaching is 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 not the same thing, or is it?
They are similar. I think today we discuss uh, strictly maybe on yogic these things, but yes, from here they are same, because from here the connection starts, and after connection the next stage is called conceptualization or dharana. And what I mean, Guru's teach is also Dhyan Mantra, by which we teach you to conceptualize your ist and read it again and again so that it gets conceptualized in such a way.
Please explain ist.
Ist is something, it may be a flower of rose, it may be a deity, it may be source, it may be form of source, and you have conceptualized that you are able to see it with the closed eyes and with the open eyes.
So it's in a way, it is a way we are imagining a divine form. Could you say that?
Yeah,
The way
yes,
we're
yes.
imagining God, that the
Yeah,
way God comes to us personally, is that the
exactly.
conceptualization?
Exactly. Now, why imagination is required? Because why conceptualization is required? Because source is zero, and it is definitely very hard to conceptualize zero. Therefore, you need some object, something to conceptualize on, and this source takes that form to appear in front of you, to make you some experiences through it and all that.
Okay. So so this form could appear to us in a human shaped form, for example, or
Yeah, yeah, you can. I mean, anything. Whenever you do the dhyan mantras, they say that this is the shape. It is one hand, two hand, four hands, or whatever. It says exactly like when we say for Shiva, we say Karpur Gauram Karunavataram Sansar Saram Bhujgendraharam Sada Vasantam Hridayarvinde Bhavam Bhavani Sahitam Namami. And when it is translated, it says a figure in which form I would like to experience the God.
and this happens obviously through massive amounts of repetitions of imagining a divine form or imagining how God would look, yes? Or
Yes,
looking
yes.
at a picture for a million times or something.
Pictures are also designed by the Dhyan mantras. If you see the pictures, Dhyan mantras are formed first, and then accordingly a picture is created.
So a picture is a conceptualization already, no?
Yes, picture is a conceptualization of somebody, not yours.
Of somebody. Okay. So you need to develop your own in your meditations.
Yes, yes, you need to develop your own conceptualization.
But this could also be a feeling, right? Or a smell or something, yeah? Or a sense or something. Is it possible?
Yes, yes, it can be. Yeah, it is possible. It is possible. I mean, you can conceptualize a smell. When you go into meditation, you will be able to smell that. And that is also the form of God.
Okay.
And you get connected.
Yes.
So that was Pratyahar. And after Pratyahar, I have told conceptualization. That is the next one. The sixth one, and the seventh one is Dhyan. Okay. Having conceptualized, I should be able to concentrate on it and only on it.
So it's depth of focus.
Yes, that's the depth of focus, and it is called dhyan. In English, it is called meditation, in which you are permanently there, enjoying the things. Your eyes are closed, disconnected with the world, to yourself, to your higher self. Nothing matters to you. Your body does not matter to you. Your mm, surroundings does not matter to you. You can, you are in you and only in you. And from here, the state of samadhi comes in, where you start experiencing source all the time, mostly sometimes in the form in which you have conceptualized, and most of the time you start experiencing source as yourself, source as zero, you as zero, and zero as you. The concepts come in you that I am not there, only source is there, and the concept comes in you that who is sitting here? It's not me, it's source. When I was there, source was not there. But now source is here, and that I which was present here earlier is no more here.
I remember you were saying to me about a year ago, I think, that samadhi and purnatva or enlightenment or self realization, I think these terms are used exchangeably, but that samadhi is something different than enlightenment.
Yeah, samadhi is definitely different than enlightenment. Samadhi is a state in which you become source, and you can say that it is the state of liberation. There are different languages has got different things. Samadhi is different. I think it is only I can make you experience it, and I may not be able to describe it in the words, but the nearest things I have already told you, that you and universe becomes the same.
I see. So it is a stage that comes later than enlightenment.
Obviously, obviously.
Okay. Now, what's interesting, I think, is that you are actually not teaching the eight pronged path of Patanjali. It is not what you are actually using to help people self realize. Am I correct?
I think nobody comes to me to learn Patanjali's Ashtanga Yoga. They all comes to me to learn the spiritual path. But yes, you are right. I am not teaching it, and but if somebody is really deeply interested in it, I can always guide them.
Yes. I mean, we spoke about this about a year and a half ago. And for me, it was done after that because you told me it is a very tough path. You need to basically invest your entire life into these, into fulfilling these eight prongs. And at the end, there is a very, very minute and small output of people who actually reach enlightenment. So much so that you said you don't even know anybody who has reached enlightenment with Patanjali. Yet, the, you also told me in the same instance that the tantric path, and again I reiterate, this has nothing to do with sex or not necessarily, that the tantric path has a, I don't know, 100-fold higher output or success rate in terms of reaching enlightenment from what you shared from your experience. I hope I didn't misunderstand you or I'm not misrepresenting you here, but that's how I understood it at least.
Yes, yes, you have understood correctly. That is what I say. And I think I have told you, and if you want, I can again tell you. You have actually been to several spiritual organizations before coming to me,
Yes, indeed.
and you have learned a lot of things, and you have told me also after your initiation that this man, this guru, has reached enlightenment through some other path.
Right, that was Carlos Castaneda, I believe we spoke about. Yeah, Don Juan and Carlos Castaneda. Yeah.
Yeah, I do not. Yeah, I'm not well read, I think. So, but yes. But then I said, okay, let us study. Let us study what he has done, how everything has happened. And when you studied, you came back and said me, Guruji, exactly what you say he has done. So that means, and I have also to come across with someone who has confidently said me that I have attained God or I have realized self with any other path other than through which we are going. You understand? Uh, Maybe I have also told you that this is the only thing known to me which will make you certainly reach where you want to go. I can guide you in this. I think more than this, if you want to discover any other path, I may not be able to guide you to the best of my abilities and knowledge. This is what I think I have told you, and this I still tell you that to whomever I have met who has self realized, who are enlightened, whenever I have tried to come to know about the path by which they have reached there, it was this.
Yeah, okay. So it was tantra. It
Yeah,
was tantra,
yeah,
what we call the pathway to inner peace, or
yes,
yeah.
yes, yes.
Yeah, but yet you told me before that the Patanjali path also leads to enlightenment.
Oh, yes.
How do you actually know? How do you know? Because it seems like you have never. I mean, that was a theoretic answer you gave me, or
No, no, it's all.
how should I understand this?
You see, if you start from here, it gets automatically merged somewhere where you find your master who starts teaching you meditation, who starts telling you who your is, who starts helping you in conceptualization, and the path becomes same afterwards.
I see. So that the yogic path helps you to gather a base consciousness and a base spiritual energy to be able to meet your next level.
Oh yes, yoga needs tantra, and tantra needs yoga. I mean to have a nice physical, emotional, mental body. I, whenever I teach Tantra, I teach all my disciples and devotees to practice yoga.
Okay, great. So maybe that is a good time to speak about the yoga that you are actually teaching, which is really also the third prong, isn't it? It is asanas. It is about an hour of asanas, and you
Yeah, an hour of asanas and pranayam.
an hour of asanas and pranayam. So it's a mix of the third and the fourth prong, so to say.
Yeah,
Yes.
yes, that is, you see, and I tell them that this is the basic minimum need for you. You can practice if you want more, but this much you must practice every day if you want to go for rising of your kundalini, if you want to go for self-realization, if you want to go for enlightenment.
So I think at this point, what should be added is that this minimum of yoga, this mixture out of the third and the fourth prong of Patanjali, is really only in connection or together with a whole other set of practices that have to do with tantra, with mantra, with other things.
Yeah, you can add that, yes.
Because if you do the yoga by itself, the third and the fourth prong, meaning pranayam and asan, it will not do, or it will not create. I guess I'm misunderstanding you, because you said before it does create actually a path to enlightenment, because it will make you meet your guru at some point. So I'm kind of like reformatting how I understand this. But what's important on how you are teaching it is that the yoga always comes in connection with also another aspect, or several other aspects that have not necessarily anything to do with the 8 pathways of Patanjali. Is that true?
When you go in the self-realization, you attain the similar state.
So by these mantra repetitions that you have people do, you are realizing conceptualization, for example, yes?
By dhyan mantra, you have got, I think if you see your process, you have a dhyan mantra and then you have a mantra. I mean, dhyan mantra is something like when you say, Balarkam Manjalabhasam Chaturbaham Trilochanam पाशांकुश सरांशापान धारयन्तीं शिवां bhaje. This is conceptualization. But your inner mantra, which is given to you and to you and to you only, that is for uh, rising of your energies, that is for connecting yourself. And I would not like to describe that here because it has got a very deep meaning, which I hope your guru, in your case, which I mean it's me, have told you the meaning very deep, and slowly it is connecting you.
Yeah. Very good. So tell us a little bit more about the yoga that you are specifically teaching to your disciples and to your devotees. I think one of the things that is crucial with doing this yoga is to do it either at sunset or at sunrise. It can also be done at other times, but there is something very special that happens during those times. And I would like you to speak a little bit more about that if possible.
Yes, yes. You see, the small portion of yoga which I teach my devotees and disciples is to make their body fit for entering into self realization. The basic energy, the physical form of energy, comes to source to this earth through sun. The life on earth is supported by sun. If there is no sun, there would be no life on earth. At the time of sunrise and sunset, UV rays are little less, and we can get the energy of sun directly in ourselves, and that is why I recommend practicing yoga at sunrise. You see, I you can also practice it at sunset, but I'm personally of an opinion that everyone likes setting of sun setting of other things, starts liking rising of others, rising of sun. Become very happy when you see rising. And therefore, I recommend this yoga at the time of sunrise. It also consists of sun salutation, which is to pay respect to the sun, to who has given us energy, because of what photosynthesis was possible and because of what we are alive. We also have a prayer at the end of yoga which says that we love, bow, respect to all our five gurus, which is mother, father, surroundings, school teachers, and spiritual guru. Then we say that we love God, we respect God, the creator, the observer, and the destroyer. We pay our respect to Sun, Moon, Mars, Mercury, Jupiter, Venus, Saturn, North Node, and South Nodes, because of which gravitational force gets created and Earth rotates and revolves. Then we say that our internal inner desire is that there be peace everywhere in the universe, no diseases, no bad feelings, no ill feelings among ourselves. We all should live in bliss. There should be peace, peace, and peace everywhere in the universe.
So, what does this mean that this prayer is in the end?
The prayer means that we are wishing good to the whole universe. We are respecting and honoring the planets who has supported life. We are honoring our parents who has given us life. We are honoring the surroundings which has taught us something. We are honoring school teachers and gurus for whatever they have given to us.
So, it's a prayer of appreciation, so to say.
All prayers are the prayers of appreciation, and yes, this is definitely a prayer of appreciation.
There are also prayers of hope and asking for things.
There are also a little bit of appreciation and then hope and asking. I mean, you are asking from something, you are asking from God, then you appreciate God and tell it to give it to you, this, that, whatever.
Okay. I've always found that prayers sometimes can be a little bit of a submission or something, like a devotional thing, oftentimes. And I was never really sold to them so much. So if somebody was to do the yoga but wasn't to do the prayer in the end, would it make a difference?
I think it will not, but yes, uh, like suppose you give me something. Suppose you give me something. What should I say?
Thank you.
Thank you. Now, sun has given us energy. What should I say to the sun?
Thank you.
Thank you, sun. Thank you, sun. Okay, that is what we are doing in the prayer. We are not doing anything, but still, if anybody feels that it is against their customs, against the way in which they live, they can drop it always.
No, I think it's a very nice thing, and I always do it. But what I'm wondering is just about the technology behind it. Like what's what's actually standing at the root of it. But it's just saying thank you basically. So to do that, you must first understand the sun as a living force, a living consciousness, a living being, right? There's many people in the world who would say, well, the sun is dirt and it's created from hydrogen, and there's basically nuclear reactions that are going on, and it's chemical. There's no cells or anything that we understand biologically as life, but we're saying thank you to that. Can you explain that?
Yeah. Now, number one, what we define life may be life on earth. Secondly, even if it is a non-living thing and it has done something good to me, why can't I thank non-living thing?
Because it can't hear me.
Yeah,
That would be the reason. When I say thank you, I'm usually assuming that the other person or my counterpart will receive the thank you. And that's the reason why you even say it. Otherwise, you didn't have to say it, right? So if you speak to a non-living thing that has no consciousness, supposedly, I'm not saying it does. I'm playing devil's advocate. But you understand where I'm going with this. If the sun doesn't hear me, why would I need to say anything? I know this is not even close to the topic, but okay.
no, oh,
Yes.
yeah, I feel and believe that sun has got consciousness. Number one, number two, uh, when I say thank you to Florian, irrespective of what Florian thinks, I become happy that I have given a thank for the good deed what he has done to me. And I feel every one of us have that kind of a feeling. First thing is that I know and I believe that sun has got consciousness and it listens to me. And even if it doesn't listen to me, I'm saying thanks to it so that I become happy inside myself by saying thanks that yes, I have used your energy and I'm very thankful to you.
Okay, I can go with that. That's good. So great. What I would like, I think, in the last few minutes, what I would like to discuss, since the whole evening is about yoga, is the yoga as it has come to the West. It seems to me like there has something similar happened than with the term Tantra, where a certain part of Tantra has been taken in the West, and now everybody in the West has a certain view about Tantra as if it is something sexual or something sexual only. Same with yoga. You just described very deeply 8 different aspects that by itself form a whole universe. Yet the West has taken the asanas, the exercises, and has even changed them towards into a direction where it is not being used to harvest the sun's energy, where it is used to sweat rather. I think you said before that it is important that in this yoga we are not sweating, because as we're trying to gather physical energy from the sun, we don't want to lose energy through our sweat. But that all has changed, it seems like. Can you elaborate on that? What are your thoughts about this and why this happened?
Okay. You know, I have gone to an Indian restaurant hoping that we'll get some Indian food there.
I know what you're gonna say in Klagenfurt.
Yes, you were there.
Yes,
And
I
you know
was there.
what the restaurant guy has done?
I know what he has
He
done.
has tried to change that Indian food so that it looks good for locals there. And in that process of doing things, He has neither cooked European food and nor he has cooked Indian food, and you will not believe. I must have said there that thank you so much. It was very nice, but inside me, I did not like the food at all.
I was just gonna say we have certainly culturally very different tastes, and at least in some areas, different eating habits. Yet we were both of one opinion that the food was horrible.
Yes, because it was mixed, and neither the original taste and nor the taste of it was neither the taste of here and nor the taste of there.
That's your metaphor for yoga.
Yes, yes, it is the same thing. I mean, I like both the foods. I like Indian food. I like Western food also. And that day I did not like it at all. I could not understand whether it is Indian or it is Western or what it is. Now, the same thing when yoga has gone, they try to incorporate this yoga in their dance, or they try to incorporate dance in this yoga, or some other exercises which are very valuable exercises. I'm not against those exercises, but they are different and are an opposite concept, and they cannot be mixed. So when you try to mix the two opposite things which are non-mixable, another product gets created, and which is neither good for here and not for there. But yes, there are few sincere yoga centers, yoga institutes, which are doing very nice work in those countries also, and we and I personally appreciate them a lot.
Yeah, I want to add here, I even appreciate those who are not per se teaching what the yogic path teaches, because they're still, helping people get movement, have a community, have an
Yes.
hour of, I don't know, breathing more, getting more oxygen. It's a beautiful thing, but I think there needs to be a distinction about what is what, right?
Everyone doing something is doing good to the society, doing good to the people, taking care of our health, and all of them be appreciated. Your question was basically directed to the topic that whether we call it yoga or not, it is definitely not exactly yoga, but yes, you can call it a modern yogic exercises.
Okay. Now, I've through my own past, I have been in a community, and I don't. I'm not going to use names, but I have been in a very, very sincere and serious yoga community for a couple of years. And the yoga there doesn't just consist of asanas, it also consists of singing together, it consists of pranayama, and it consists of, obviously a certain eating habits and things like that. And it also consists of sitting still. So it's a certain kind of meditation. And depending on the day or which teacher is teaching, those meditations can be up to like an hour or half an hour or whatever. And one of the things that was always taught is in the stages that a person goes when he or she goes through meditation, is that gaining of the ability to turn off the chatter in the mind, meaning not necessarily turn it off, but at least control it. So let's say something is tickling, right, or itching me on my knee, and I want to scratch it. But through the practice, I acquire the ability to not react to my thoughts, to my urges, to my emotions, and continue to sit perfectly still. Now, I'm bringing this up because have spoken to you about something similar before, and I got the impression back then that this doesn't really have importance in the world of Tantra, or maybe in a different context. But I wanted to ask you about that. What value does that part have, or what importance does that aspect have for spirituality? This ability through yoga or through meditation to be able to control your body and to not react to every itch or every thought or every emotion you have, and so on.
You see, when we are working in a group, discipline is necessary. And I think this is the discipline so that you can work in group. But as regards to spirituality is concerned, it is not relevant. It is, if you do it, it is not going to harm you. If you don't do it, it is not going to help you. It is irrelevant. Spirituality is a concept of freeing yourself and not bonding. And in a way, it's a bonding, and it's very good for a group, because if you want to run a group, you need certain disciplines. Okay, so it is not bad, but it is independent of spirituality.
So this is interesting. So you're actually saying that reaching complete physical stillness in a meditation to the point where you don't have to react to the urges of your mind, to scratch yourself and so on, is really another form of binding. To practice that is another form of binding.
Look, you see, if that urge does not come from inside, then it is not. There is a very fine line we must understand. Then it is not. But if the mind says, oh, I need scratching, but I'm trying to stop me because my teacher is watching, because this doesn't suit group, then it is definitely not.
I mean, this is not based on that you can't do it because of for the sake of the group, but also when people meditate at home, I think what's happening is that the belief is that when you gain control of your outside, that eventually you will also gain control of your inside. I think that's more the agenda behind it, or the idea behind it, rather than having a soldier-like control over a group. I don't think that's really it, or at least for the group that I was in.
Not control. The word control, the moment you use, you are beyond spirituality. I mean, you are not even close to spirituality. When you slip inside, outside things does not matter to you. That is what our thinking pattern should be, and then it is a spirituality. When I'm thinking that I can control myself, that I'm closing my eyes and nothing will disturb me, that is a control. It's an ego. It's not a spirituality. Spirituality is when I go inside, nothing, absolutely nothing, what is present outside of me can ever disturb me.
I think those are wonderful final words. Unfortunately, we have to end for today. And thank you so much for joining us and explaining the depths of yoga to us. And we're looking forward to having you back next week.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you for listening to another episode of Guru Talks. Share this episode with anyone who wants to be enlightened by Guru Bhaneswaranand, and don't forget to click subscribe.